probably enough, darling. I've never noticed that before. A little ambulance station. A very little ambulance station. Possibly the smallest ambulance station I've ever seen. Righto. So I was just talking to a bloke there. He introduced himself to me. His name's Glenn. Apparently he's been watching some of my videos on YouTube. He's got a V-Star 1100 or something that he wants to put a chair on. So we've been talking about that. And I told him to get one of those universal mounting kits and stuff. He said he can fabricate and stuff, and so, you know, should work out alright for him. It's got a DJP. It's got the body and the chassis, but no mounting arms or knuckles or anything, you know. So, but the Yamaha apparently has got a full cradle frame, so he can just bolt it on, sort of thing, you know. Put his mounting lugs on the DJP chassis accordingly. And Bob's your female relative. Mirror's carrying on again, is it? Whoa there, Bessie. Look out, Lizzo! I've never seen one go that quick. They're all trying to sun themselves. It's not that warm, really. It's one of those corners that often just has gravel all over it. Not that it'll make much difference to this girl at the moment, this German girl. So all in all, it was a satisfactory little outing, you know, sort of, at least the bike will get there and back. And probably it's only going to be like a 300 kilometres all up. I reset that trip meter after I'd filled up the other day, so it doesn't have the full trip on it. I'll be glad to get home and have a coffee and a biscuit or a bit of lunch, I suppose. Probably getting towards lunchtime, I suppose. I took all my camping stuff, you know, like some bread and coffee and sugar and some tea bags, you know, some tea. And then I forgot to take my little pot, you know, for boiling water and stuff. That was fucking useless. So for breakfast this morning, I had some bread with Vegemite and a bottle of Coke. It's like being a teenager again or something. The world continues to sleepwalk towards World War III by the looks of it. I keep seeing these videos on YouTube. I don't watch many of them, but I see them come up about Germany rearming and stuff, and how, you know, awakening the sleeping giant and all that crap. You know, the Germans can spend lots of money on the military, and they're going to, you know. But like most Western countries now, you can have all this military equipment, but who's gonna crew them, you know? Ships, tanks, planes, whatnot. You know, they're way short of recruitment targets like the Australian Army is, and blah blah blah. No one wants to be a soldier anymore. They want to be an influencer. You know, I hope I don't influence anybody on here. That'd be fucking too much responsibility. You know, the German army, the Bundeswehr, the armed forces, is not the Wehrmacht. You know, and the soldiers in that army are not Wehrmacht soldiers. People just aren't the same. They're not warlike anymore. It's like watching Italians, you know, like Italy's the country that brought us the Roman Empire, but by the time World War II came around, they were talking about, you know, how their tanks got 1 forward speed and 6 reverse. Well, they weren't very soldierly at all, so they say, you know. I don't know. That's what they say. These bars are quite good. Nice riding position. Slightly forward lean, which just keeps, you know, not pressure on my arms or anything, or wrist, just goes along. So yeah, no, the Germans they'll get a shock if they had to fight a war, a peer type war, as will Australia and the US. You know, none of the Western countries have fought against a peer army but since probably World War II. You know, the Ukrainians are the ones with the most battle-hardened experience now, and most of them are being killed off. The UK Army Armed Forces, you know, they're also well in decline, underfunded, undermanned. Not sure about the French. I mean, Australia's talking about, you know, getting new submarines and whatnot, and you know, new infantry fighting vehicles, the Redback, and made in Korea, or made in Australia under license, I guess. The GTK Boxer, which is made under license from Rheinmetall in Ipswich. They're all good. It's all good kit, you know. But we need another. You know, we couldn't put much more than a brigade into the field at this point, I wouldn't think. It occurs to me that I'm quite hungry. That breakfast of Coke and bread and Vegemite probably isn't very sustaining in the long term. Normally I have, oh, here I go on the internet talking about food. Shut the fuck up, punk. I dare say Keith will be happy to see us home. Had to survive a whole 24 hours, I suppose. The wattle. What'll I think of next? Better keep the speed down anyway with the skippies around. Difficult intersection, this one. Now you should, I bet you most people just go straight around without even looking, but I'm not that trusting in human nature, and I've never seen anyone coming down that road, but that doesn't mean they won't. Wobble, wobble, lunge, lunge, twitch, twitch. just thinking about something then. It just shifted to the right, shifted to the right. There must be a wind coming across that way today, nor'easter or something. And I just suddenly thought, I wonder if it makes a difference having that solid rim, whether the wind catches it more than it normally would. I know they used to say that about, was it the Fat Boy Harleys with the solid rims? It's remarkable how cool it is. I'm pretty sure last year it was already like 30 degrees and something, you know, on that rally. The nights were cooler. Last night was cold. It was cold and there were bloody mozzies at the same time, which I think is bloody unfair. But I was quite warm in my sleeping bag because I got a sidecar, so I packed an extra sleeping bag to just throw over the top, you know. I hate being cold. Even though I've lived in a lot of cold places, I don't like actually being cold. In fact, I think I've turned into Goldilocks, you know, where I'm sort of going, it's too fucking cold, it's too fucking hot. Temperature tolerance of about 3 degrees, you know. Always like that view there. Bit of road. Oh yeah, hang on to us, son. Oh yeah, you young kiddies. Here's your Uncle Arthur. Oh, get up in there. skippy corner. One of the many skippy corners. I imagine we must have run out of memory card by now. I think we might have breakfast when we get home. Hard-boiled egg and some toast with lots of seeds in it and a coffee. Why not? You only live once, I reckon. might end up having to take this front end off because I like these front brakes. They got good feel. Goes alright. That's not thrashing the arse off it, that's just sort of, you know, brisk acceleration. Hasn't Tilly improved, eh? Haven't you? You're a good girl.